Welcome to 2025. I have the same resolution as always as to make more videos. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully I perform better than last year. I'm going to try and do simpler ideas, more of what you guys want to see. So let me know in the comments what you want. We'll try to go that route. I'm doing one today that I'm kind of interested in. All the hype around AI. Of course, we all know it's real and has its place and different things like that, especially helping with development. My curiosity now is around how soon will we see true replacement? I seen a post on Reddit where a software development company had fired all their developers, and then a post shortly after of a LinkedIn post where he was trying to hire them back. So today we're going to create a application using ChatGPT help, and I'm going to try and imitate what your boss would know or what the owner of a company would know that's kind of techy, but not a true developer. Now, that shouldn't be hard because I am definitely not on most of your level, so we'll see what we can do here. My application is going to be hopefully around my goal as well for 2025 resolution to interact with everyone more and see what kind of videos you like. So I want to know what type of social media everyone's using and how you want to interact with me. I'm going to create an application where you can vote which I should be the most active on, and also have links to follow me, and I'll give you a follow right back as well so we can interact throughout the year. Let me know what you think. So as for the application itself, I'm here on ChatGPT. I'm just going to give it a simple message and see if we can get started with the basic knowledge of maybe a tech stack. I'm going to let him know the situation. I fired all my developers. See if he'll still help me. I do have a ChatGPT plan. I'm not going to log in. I'm going to see how far I can get just with the free one here. So I want to use Next.js. I think my developers used to use Prisma as a DB. I know Prisma isn't a DB. We'll see if they can correct us and get us back on the right track here. TypeScript and all of that jazz. I want my application to be simple, no logins, where people can vote what type of social media I should be active on in 2025. Discord too. We used to have a Discord. Well, we still have a Discord, but I'm not as active in it as I should be. Display a list of social medias, allow users to vote for their preferred platform, display the results in real time after voting. Let's use the tech stack. So what they're using is Next.js, TypeScript, Prisma, Postgres, MySQL, SQLite. That makes sense. React, Vercel. Steps for building the application. Set up Prisma init. They're going to use Postgres. They've been migrating the database, but I don't know that they have an actual database set up either. Creating the API routes, building the front end. Man, they really just it throws everything at you. It's definitely not step by step. So they'd probably hire their developers back right now. I'm going to go ahead and get started though. I'm going to pull up my Visual Studio Code, pretend I know that much. I'll copy this line. Now, all I've done is I've CD'd into my project directory. I've copied the line to initialize my project, called it my voting app as suggested. Also said I wanted to use TypeScript. We're going to use 15.1. React 19 is stable, so we can start using it. I haven't created a Next.js 15 app yet. Most of my projects are still in 14, so I'll go ahead and proceed. It was funny. They were talking, I seen a Reddit post where they were talking about how Next app major versions are conference-based releases because they always have another huge release every year. Would you like to use ESLint? Yes. I'm just going to use defaults, pretend like I don't know, and click through. It's probably what I would use anyways. Who am I kidding? All right, that's at least initialized. With a look at the next steps, it wants to go into that app directory. So we'll also open this up in Visual Studio Code and then initialize our Prisma here. So we'll go ahead and do that. I'll CD in, open the folder, initialize Prisma. All right, we are CD'd in. Let's go ahead and initialize Prisma. While that's running, we can look at the next step it's suggesting. So after, I kept saying we were initializing Prisma, we were installing Prisma and Prisma client. Next, we're going to initialize Prisma itself and then define our database structure. That's done. Let's go ahead and initialize Prisma. Quick and easy. Open Prisma, schema.prisma. For example, it should look like this. Define the data model. I like this. Simple names a string and the amount of votes it has. That's good. Your database info. We'll paste our model. Oh my gosh, we're basically developers. Run migrations to create the database schema. Now this is not going to work because we don't have a database URL set up. So this is kind of the first spot that we'd get an error here, I think. Let's go ahead and try this just to be realistic, see what we get for an error. Yeah, now obviously this doesn't work because it's going localhost. We don't have anything set up here. I'm going to spit this back and see, should we get a database set up? Let's just keep it generic. We'll just see what it says and then we can push it in the right direction. And I don't think it ever told me to install Postgres or anything locally, so it shouldn't. Assume that I have it installed. But anyways, this might be the first spot. This might be the first spot you hire back your developers. Maybe you know how to get through this. So let's say, let's just keep it generic. So we don't have anything locally. What should we set up? We can do SQLite. We can do Postgres. Do MySQL, MongoDB, Supabase. I never use Supabase. I think they have a free tier, so I'm going to pick that just because I think that one would be cool to show in this. So let's say I remember my team before I fired them. All right, Supabase. So go to this, create an account. If you don't have one, create a new project in the dashboard, blah, blah, blah. And then we'll set up the database URL and the .env. That's actually pretty straightforward. I think that's actually what we need to do. Let's go ahead and we can, geez, it really just goes crazy, doesn't it? I wish, you know, if I was not a developer, I'd be like, whoa, holy cow, one step at a time, big dog. All right, so I'm on Supabase. I'm on the project tab. I haven't created a project yet. I signed up, signed in, all that jazz. Let's go ahead and create a new project. We will call it social. Have a secure database password. Oh, look at that. Sweet. Let's go create project. Before I forget, and your boss would probably forget, but I will not. Let's go ahead and go in here in the env file. And we'll just hit our super secure password there. I'll show to the world, just like your boss would probably do. Now ChatGPT is going to, I hope, suggest that we need to grab that URL. Create a new project. After the project is created, you'll get a database URL. Connection string, which is the URL you'll use in your .env file. Should look like this. So let's go ahead and hit connect here, and we will grab our direct connection here. Now I see some warnings here too about not IPv4 compatible, and some of the Vercel on here, which they're suggesting we host on. ChatGPT is suggesting we host on. So we might have some problems with this. So I'll have to watch out for that. I'm not sure that ChatGPT will catch that, but we'll try. So we're back in our .env file. I'm going to delete this. All right, so now we have our URL pasted. Let's grab this secure password and replace our password. Boom. So now we should be able to use the command that we used before to create that database. So I'm going to try that. Oh, it probably doesn't like my password. I'll send this, see if it has a solution. It gave me my new string. I just paste it in here. Oops. Jeez. I'm gonna paste it in here. Save that. Run this again. Cannot reach database server. Blah, blah, blah. Now this is, I think, the IPv4 error. Note it had a direct connection URI and a couple pooler ones. Should I be using one over the other? e.g. bounce connection URI, which connection pooler. Check the different connection types. Pooler URI. So at this point, if I was unknowledgeable, I would probably just try all three. So I noticed that this last one says only on an IPv4 network, and this one doesn't give any warning, so it just seems like it would be the best for everything if I had no knowledge. So let's just grab that one and try it first. So again, let's grab that. Let's paste it into ChatGPT. Can you update this with my escaped password? Let's just grab that new connection URL. Paste it in here. Of course, they didn't give me the full thingy. Save that. Let's run our migration again. Third connection string was the trick. We got that all set up. That looks good. I think people would have figured that out guessing and testing. So I'm just going to let them know that I got the database migrated. I need to still do everything. Let's take it step by step. Okay, so it's wanting me to set this up through the Supabase platform, which is fine. Let's open that up. So I'm trying to do my insert here as suggested. I got this error. Let's relay that back. So the table was already set up when we migrated. When I ran the insert in SQL editor, I got this error. That's mad at me for just having a trial account. I'll log in so we can continue. Not bad suggestions, saying that we can seed, retry our SQL query. Oh, maybe I got to go into the table. We could just insert a new row. Twitter. LinkedIn. Forgot about that. The only one that I actually have. I guess I do got a Discord too. So anyways, we got them all inserted. Okay, we'll let it know we're ready. So it wants me to have an API route for the back end. It wants it to be at app API social media route.ts. So we can do that. Let's copy that. Let's do API. And then they wanted social dash media. New folder, social dash media. Then a new file, route.ts. Paste that in there. That looks good. I'm sure this will just work right out of the box. I'm not even going to look at it. App page.tsx. Let's copy this. Page.tsx. Boom. Done there. Let's see what else it says for me to do. Styling optional with Tailwind CSS. We can initialize Tailwind. I think it's already in our project. Update your Tailwind config. Add your global, but it's not actually styling anything. Add your environmental variables. That's all good. And then npm run dev. So let's just pretend we're good. Let's do npm run dev as suggested. Didn't bomb horrifically. That's good. Vote for the best platform. Dang, looks good out of the box. I love it as is, man. This is good development. Let's try the vote system. We can vote. Control R, still refreshes. Now, we can also vote multiple times from the same IP address, so you guys can pump up these numbers and make me look more popular, or I can pump them up myself and make myself feel more popular. And we got some links where we can link to my accounts to work on my ploy of getting a better following. I'm not going to make any money off these followings, I promise. So I just want to see what's going on in everyone's little brain these days. Cool. Well, I love this as is. Let's get this on the internet. I want people to be able to access it right now. Blah, blah, blah. Social media platforms, blah, blah. Prisma. Okay, great. Fantastic. I love it. Can you help me get it online? Where should I host? It says Vercel. It's going to have me log in, deploy my app, add environment variables in the dashboard. Okay, I love it. I would typically just use the GUI, but if this is what it wants, that's great. So we'll install Vercel. Ask me how I want to log in. I'm going to use my GitHub. That way I can just post this, blah, blah, blah. I love it. Let's see what ChatGPT wanted me to do next. Log in your project folder, run Vercel. In my project folder, I'm going to use Vercel, set up and deploy. Yes, duh. Link to an existing project. No. What's your project's name? My voting app, duh. Which directory is your code located? Right frickin' here. Next build, port, yarn install, Next.js default. Do you want to modify these settings? No, I don't even know what they mean. We have a nice production link already. Oh my gosh. Now it aired out here during the build process. What I like to do is run build locally and see what the error is, because that gives me, instead of messing with the logs and all that on the Vercel side, we can ask ChatGPT and see if it comes to that solution. But let's check it out first. Let's do npm run build locally and just see if we build here. Built here. So I'm going to assume this is based on our environment variables. So I'm going to ask and see if I can just add those to the GUI. Go to Vercel dashboard. Okay. So it did fail here. It's going to have us add the environment variables. Let's see if that would fix our build issue. So I'm going to log in and take a look at our project. Just got an error here. So I'm going to go to settings. Let's go to environment variables. Here we can add our keys and our secrets. I don't think I'm taking too much liberty here. I mean, it did help us through this process. So we'll put that in, save it. That's looking good. Let's look at our deployments. Redeploy. Might not be our only issue. I have no idea. This is also the first Next.js 15 I've deployed to Vercel, so we're counting on ChatGPT anyways to fix our issues. So, that makes sense. We're not generating, so we probably need to run Prisma generate before we build. We can share that with ChatGPT. Worked. I see it on Vercel. Added the env stuff, but I get this error during the build. Boom. So it's again wanting me to do this through the CLI. We can try that first. I usually do it with the GUI because I just think it's easier to teach, but let's go to our build. Package.json, here's our build. Let's replace that. Should have put a comma here. Save. That looks good. Did that. Redeploy to Vercel. Let's do that. No whammies, no whammies. Oh my gosh, it didn't even fail. We got a production voting system now. Yes, I want to open this. Actually, let's copy it. This was our local version. I'm going to go to our live one. Vote for the best. Oh my goodness. Sweet. Vote, vote, vote. We want to keep it fair. Vote. I love it. That looks great. Now I do have to add my other links here so you guys can add me to whatever platform you want, but I can work on that myself. Your boss at this point is probably going to be like, I hate this URL. It's stupid. How do I get my own? I'm going to say I hate this URL. We use Bluehost or something spelled incorrectly for the domain thingies. It's giving me some reaffirming, you're so right. I love that. Add your domain in Vercel. Go to your Vercel project, add your domain. Vercel will give you a specific DNS record to set up in Bluehost. Configure your DNS on Bluehost. Yay. Your root domain. All that stuff. I'm going to log into Bluehost and see if I have a domain to use real quick. Now, great news, guys. I did have a domain available, so we're going to follow the instructions by ChatGPT. It very well fits this project, too. So we're going to go to project settings. And this is just as it says, domains. Plop in our text AI, simplytextai.com. I don't know why I bought that domain. I might have had an idea to build something at one time. So I'll hit add simplytextai.com, which makes no sense for this project, but we'll add it anyways. It's checking the domain status. I tried this one earlier, but I was using a different project. We'll see if that hits, and then we can finish our instructions. So it's saying set the following DNS providers to continue. It's recommending we use the A record, but we can do that. Now, did ChatGPT tell us to do stuff like that? Configure the DNS, my domains, manage DNS for your root record, add the A record, subdomain, verify on Vercel. I don't know why I said decel. Cool. Advanced DNS, let's manage. Don't show this again. Delete. Add a record at boom 4. Love it. Now, after some patience, you'll see that our simplytextai.com is online. So it was relatively successful. Obviously, we took some liberties here and helped out a little bit. I do develop probably more than some bosses would, or some company owners, obviously. Let me know if you want to continue this, or maybe have a series on actually utilizing ChatGPT to develop quicker as a developer. I'd be happy to do that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Add me up on the platforms, and until next time, keep coding.